And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And a one fish, blue fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right. And a one fish, blue fish. Twitch is good. All right. And a one fish, blue fish. Let's see how Twitch is good. Oh, I still have Twitch is good. That's me. Twitch is good. That's Ike. Oh, I still have Twitch is good. That's me. Twitch is good. Oh, I still have Twitch is good. That's me. Twitch is good. That's Ike. Oh, I still have Twitch is good. All right. Oh, I still have YouTube sounds good too. I think we're ready to go. I'm still working on the magic user. I'm almost ready. I just realized I still had to make model one more thing. The book, the spell book holder. So we're going to finish that up. And I should be able to set everything up for texturing. So we'll do that. Hopefully you can get a lot of the texturing done. The book holder's mostly done, except I'm just going to add some rivets on the front here. And I got a rivet here somewhere. There's the rivet. So I'm just going to put a couple of rivets here, a couple of rivets here, a couple of rivets here. And then we got to set this thing up for UV mapping. And maybe add a little bit more. I think it's going to be fine if we subdivide it. Let's take a look. And you are covering chat. Not that there's anybody over there. So let's kind of get the rivet lined up. We'll look at it from the front. And I'm going to need a couple there. And I'm going to need a couple over here. I should set that. Is that on, not on medium? That is on medium. Why is that? I'm in object mode. There's my problem. Let's take a look at you from this side. Let's grab the rivets. Potion rivet. Let's select those. And I can't see the bottom of my. There it is. Select. Oh, you guys. Oh, you're in object mode. Never mind. Let's combine all of these. There we go. Now we're all in one happy family here. Control L on the. Nope. Let's select you. Select you. Control L. Those are going to kind of line up about there. This one I need to move in a little bit, so come in here and Control L and zip it in and move you so you're just touching. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. I missed. Let's try this again. Put that so it's just touching. All right, I'm ready to make Control L, Shift D. So I need one more of those right there. And then we can make copies of those. And those will go there. So that gives me the rivets. I'm going to add a little bit more detail on these parts right here. We'll just do that with a bevel and pull it out like so. Gives me a little bit more curve. Oh, my nose is bothering me. All right, now I need to set up. So that's going to be good for that. And we're going to attach this to the belt with a rigid follow node. And I just need to mark out all my UV mapping. Oh, you need to be that. So that's clipping a little bit. So we're just going to move you out like so. What about you? You're still clipping a little bit. Move you out a little like that. Bottom one still. It's probably good. I think I already fixed this side. All right, let's go ahead and mark some seams. I'm going to run a seam along through here, and through here, and through here. And through here. I might as well just click mark seams while we go. And I want one there. And there. I just marked sharp, didn't I? Mark seam. And we want one that's going to run through there and there. And then there. And I'm going to mark these little edges right here. Likewise, we're going to run one right there. Mark those two edges. And I can't. There we go. But did I already? Oh, no. This one right here. I got to mark a seam there, and then we're going to mark these edges. And likewise, that's an edge crease. That's a mark seam. And there and there. Okay, I gotta get down here. So I'm gonna want that. Dang it. I keep clicking on the wrong things. Dang it. No, what the frick? What the hell happened over here? We're getting there. I think, no, that was that one there. There we go. All right, that's all good. And then I think I just have to get this edge up here. And then these. And we should be fine. All right, let's go into UV editing and see what we're up with. Um, 3AU. Nope, let's try that again. 3AU. 3AU. Unwrap, minimize, minimum stretch. Okay. Oh, it looks like I got a little, I missed a little spot right there. That's better. And we got these little rivets down in here. So I think that is basically the last part. And the pouch. I got to get the pouch set up too. I'm trying to think how I wanted to do the pouch. Let's go take a look at my store at Daz. See which pouch I'm going to steal. I was leaning towards the Crossroads pouch, but we might steal the Merchant of Mars pouch or one of those. Let's go to Daz. Come on. Jesus. I don't know. Where's the freaking store at? It's my browser's too small, so it's hamburgered. If I say merchant. Hey, Leo, how are you doing? That's right. It's the pouch of many holdings. Oh, I'm getting merchant resources. Let's say merchant Mars. There we go. So let's take a look at my pouch setups. I have square pouches. I have round pouches. You know what? I like these because they've got this round bobbly thing. So I'm leaning towards stealing this pouch here. Or maybe, you know what, maybe if I take this, not too bright and sunny day. We're overcast today. But what are we? We're 76 and overcast. You know what? Let's go. I'm leaning towards this. I think I'm going to go with my initial feeling was that. And I like this one because it's got the round button on it. So let's go take a look at. So let's go dig up my Merchant of Mars set out of my content library. And I'm probably just going to steal this. We'll retexture it a little bit. Because I'm going to use the Alchemist alphabet for running patterns along the edges, I think, is what I'm leaning towards when we do the texturing. I'm going to do my content library. I'm going to sneak my content library over to screen 2 for a minute while I navigate to just make sure I don't accidentally flash something on screen that shouldn't be there. Chris's dad stuff. There we go. We're going to go to people. We're going to Genesis 8 female. I have no idea which folder I stuck you in. You're not over there. You're in clothing. Are you in Maidens of Mars Merchant? There it is. Why do I have prop with button? Is the button separate? You know what? I really wanted the button to be part of this. Hold on. We're going to probably export this out a couple of times. And then rebring it and bring it back in. Oh, this has got a nice bend on it, so it fits to the hip a little bit better. I don't know, maybe I will leave this loose button on here. Is there not? Oh, I called it. Yeah, you know what? That works. That's going to be fine. You know what? We're going to live with this. I'm going to re-export. So we're going to rename this stuff. We're going to call it all Raven Hex. Actually, I should do this. Here, we'll do this over here in the scene identification. Raven Hex pouch button. I'm going to get rid of that underscore. Raven Hex pouch button. Looks good. Compatibility base. You know what? I'm going to say none for now. Scene identifier. So we're going to resave this into the Raven Hex folder. So let's save that. Here, we'll hit the boop, 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 boop. And I'm going to stick it right here, but we're going to get rid of it. Actually, where do I have? You know what? We're going to stick it out here. Raven Hex pouch button. Like so. Product name will be Raven Hex. Item name will be Raven Hex pouch button. I thought I changed that already. It's a follower accessory. I'm going to not set the compatibility base, and we'll accept that. All right, now we're just to do the same thing with the pouch. And I might remap just to make sure the button's on. Let's see. Perspective view. What is our UV on the... You're down there. You know what? I think you're UV mapped right. Okay, excellent. Let's resave the pouch. We'll come over here. I'm in the wrong thing. Let's pop over to... I'm in the scene now. Okay. Edit scene identification. Oops. Let's try this. Edit scene identification. So we're going to call you Raven Hex. Pouch. So you get to be Raven Hex Pouch. Content type, follower accessory. We're going to switch you to none. I'm going to accept that. So we're going to have to redo these textures because I'm going to redo them for this product. Hit that button there. We'll just put it right here for now. Product name will be Raven Hex. You're going to be Raven Hex Pouch. Raven Hex Pouch. Compatibility base is off. Accept that. Should be good. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna scram. We're gonna just remove all the textures off of this for right now, and then resave them, and then we'll reapply them later. So, boom, do that. Select that. Resave. Pouch. Resave button. Is there a rigid follow node in here? I don't know. I'll reset that up. I'm resaving the button. Already exists. Would you like to replace it? Yes, please. All of that looks good. Okay, I'm going to shut Daz down and we're going to reopen it just to make sure everything's looking clean. We'll put you away. This is ready to be... Did I save that? I don't think I saved that yet. Let's export that out. F6, spellbook holder. Raven Hex spellbook holder. Make sure we're using our DAS preset, so we're doing selected only. Export that. Should be good. Okay, we're going to put Blender over here for a second. Let's relaunch DAS and let's get the... I think I've got everything, all the parts I need now. I'm going to rework the cloak a little bit because I don't actually want it drooping over when it comes in. All right, we're ready to go. You know what? Let's take a look at the Genesis 8 version. We're going to set up the belt for Genesis 8. And I've got the belts rigged with extra handles so we can move the attachments. So we're probably going to set those up with controls in the main body. So you don't have to go looking for the actual parts. You can still use the actual parts if you want to. All right, let's get you back over here. And let's go down. All right, we're going to, did I put the... I did not save the belt with the buckle on it. Oh no. How annoying. All right, let's put you in here. I have to... Well, let's get the holder in here. So we have our spell book is ready to go. I'm going to move you. No, I'm going to leave a copy of the spell book in here. This I don't need in here, so we're going to cut that, and we'll just stick it out over here for now. With all this other stuff. This is stuff that I need to save that is going to be attached to other stuff later on. Hey, Charles, how are you doing today? Let's paste that over there. Let's get our holder in here. Are you my import? You're my import. There's the spellbook holder right there. That's probably good. Let's zoom in on it and make sure it kind of lines up with the spellbook. Yay. We're going to do a little bit of setup. I want the center of the spellbook to be right about there. I think if I let's put a subsurface modifier on it. Edit geometry, convert to sub D. Is that still looking good? Still looks good because I had planned for that. Yay. Okay, let's go into figure tool. So I want my center point for the book holder to be right there on the back side. This is designed to go onto the left hip. I'm going to put you just down at the bottom. We're going to memorize that. I should probably reorient this so that the center's right there. Or maybe not. I'm going to not worry about that. I don't need it to be too flexible. Memorize the selected node. Excellent. Let's come over here and put a generic shader on it to start with. I should have actually selected the holder. Now we'll put the generic shader on. Now I'm ready to save this as a figure prop asset. Gonna go get cleaned up back in a few. Alrighty. We'll see you back in a few, Charles. I think this is ready to do the thing. We'll do the thing. I'm going to just put it out here. This is just going to be a spellbook holder. You are Raven Hex. You're just a prop. And we're just going to accept that. You're actually a prop that goes onto the hip. We're not worrying too much about that. All right, going to delete you. Going to reload you back in so that we're using the one from the data folder. Select you. Do that. Excellent. I'm going to just parent the book into the holder. Spellbook goes into the holder like that. Okay, I need to put a rigid follow node on here that we can snap the holder to on the belt. So we're going to just flip over to geometry editor, select the belt, select the belt, select the belt, select a couple of points here, and geometry assignment, create rigid follow node, your node, spell book holder. Also, we'll go ahead and we'll stick the node over here for the pouch. I'm going to put the pouch right in there. Node, pouch, accept that. I have to figure out where I want these because right now they're just kind of parented to the main thing. I think, is this on the pelvis? Oh, no. There are, that's right. I rigged this up so that they shift X. God damn it. No, they go to the pouch holder. I have a pouch holder body part, and I have a spellbook holder body part. So the spellbook one goes onto the spellbook holder, and the pouch goes onto the pouch holder. Yay. All right, we're going to take these nodes. and tweak them just a little bit. Grab all of that. I'm going to make sure that the rotations are all set to 0. Okay, we're going to set the visibility off on those. Also make sure they're not visible in simulation. I'm just going to hit my memorize those. And then I'm also going to lock them down and memorize that. All right, they're ready to go. So I can take the spellbook holder and attach it to the spellbook holder and then Control E. And we just have to kind of pose that in a little bit better. So that's just going to kind of line up over here. Kind of like that. This is going to pop up a couple of millimeters or 1.5 so we're going to be pretty close, but we don't have to be really precise. I'm going to hide the spellbook for just a minute here while I kind of try to remember where that node is. So that node is right there. You know what? We're pretty freaking close. Rotate you a little bit. I grabbed the wrong thing. That's what I'm looking for right there. Just orient you a little bit like that. Get you in a little bit closer. That'll probably work for that. All right, let's memorize that. We're eventually going to add potions onto the belt too. So maybe we'll get one of those out. I have actually made those onto posable figures. Show you again. I need to get the belt buckle in here. I'm going to attach it to a rigid follow node on a loop back here that you can't see. You know what? I can do it this way. Select the belt, go into the geometry editor, come over here to the tool settings. I have a little thing in here called belt end, which I also have to make sure I add to the Genesis 9 version of this at some point. But so we can hide the belt. I can see belt end, and I can kind of zoom in. I'm going to select those two. And I want to select these two here. And then I want to create a rigid follow node out of that. Node buckle. Accept that. So that's in kind of in the center there. I think this is abdomen lower. This is right on the border of abdomen lower, abdomen upper. We're going to put it in abdomen lower. So we're going to move that over here to abdomen lower on the belt. Come over here and zero out the rotations. Make it invisible. Memorize that. Lock it down. Memorize that. Now I can take this belt buckle, and we should be pretty close to be able to just kind of do that. And snap it into place. We may need to adjust that belt buckle a little bit. Let's get the rest of the belt in here so we can see it. Right there, make that visible again. And we'll double check this. When we texture it, we're going to want to put a kind of a dark hole there for the for that to come through. But when we texture it, we're going to add a little bit of displacement by about like 1.5 millimeters. So it's going to pop up a little bit. So the position of this is going to be a little bit different than what we see right now. So anyhow, that's that. I have a note over here for the pouch. Let's go get the pouch and the pouch button, and we'll set them up. So I need a rigid follow node here for the pouch button. I'm actually going to put that on the other side. So when this opens up, the pouch button still stays in place. Or do I want to just put this? I'm thinking I might just attach this to this. And then save. And then I got to resave all the mores for that. I'm not going to worry about an extra button. You know what? We're going to do that. We're gonna reprep this thing here. So I'm actually going to attach this to a node on the pouch right now. Let's hide you for a second. So right here, I've got the wrong thing selected. Let's just come over here. So I think we'll just do that. We'll put a node right there. But I'm not going to keep this because we're going to rebuild this out. The button's not going to be separate from the pouch. I'm going to mold the button into the pouch is what we're doing. Did I not just accept? Oh no, I didn't. I did the create rigid follow node. Where did it go? Did I? Oh, you're all the way up there. What are you doing up there? Control E. All right, let's try this again. You're not creating in the right spot. Is my pouch scaled or something goofy? No, not that I can see. You're just creating them up here for some reason. And where did you guys go? Oh, you're in the back now. See, that's just goofy. Okay, if I memorize you, are you staying attached to this? If I take you, make you visible, attach you to... Get rid of that. Nope. Okay, I attached the button to the wrong node, didn't I? I did. Okay, let's put the button on the other node. Then I can get rid of you. And when I apply the morph on here, I'm just going to need to, you know what, I'm just going to adjust you. You're centered up badly. You know what, that's probably fine. Okay, let's Take that and export those. Let's put you up into here. Raven hex pouch. Accept that. Take a look at my adjustments. Deeper. Yep, we'll export that. Deeper. Longer. Wider. Curve. Oh, it has the curve on by default. That's fine. I don't need the curve. I like the curve. Well, that might be why my stuff was screwing up, because we have a little bit of a curve on there. I already did it, and we just want to do open, right? And then I just got to manually reposition this. I didn't even center that button right. So there we go. And then we'll export those out as open. And then I'm going to just rebuild the whole thing. We're just going to re-import it, resave it, and then load those in as morph targets. Dun, 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 dun. And what is that, open? Hopefully this works. And then I don't have to deal with putting the button on a node or anything goofy like that. That should have been good. Let's hide you. And let's see how this goes. Import. I think I saved you all in the morphs. So here's the Raven Hex pouch. Except that is good. Let's just go take a quick peek. Did you come in as two parts? No. You're right there. Okay. I want to take a look at the UVs and make sure it makes sense. It makes sense. You know what? I'm going to remap that so that it takes up a full by itself. Also, I have an inside and an outside on this too. So, do I have Blender? I still have Blender open over here. We'll do that. You knew there was a reason Blender was still open, right? All right, F5. Morphs. Get the pouch. And we'll just tab into here, and we're just going to mark seams. Okay, that did go all the way around. I think I'm going to just maybe put a seam through here. Put a seam here and here. It looks like it didn't go all the way. Mark a seam there. And mark a seam there. My button's got it back. Mark a seam on that. I think we might be good. Let's go with UV editing, see how this is looking. 3AU. That's not too bad. I probably want to put a seam right in here, though. I think. Yep. Let's do that. right through here, and then I'm going to have to mark these little corners here and here. And I have to do it this way over here, mark seam. There we go. Much better. 3AU. There we go. We're going to resave this, and then we'll reload it and resave it. So activate export. Selected items. I'm going to just overwrite that. Back into here. All right, we're going to get rid of you. Do an import with that. Looking good. Double check our surfaces. Do I have surfaces in here? I do. Those all make sense. I should probably call you pouch button, but other than that, that makes sense. We'll take a look at this. That's what we just did. Yay. So I want this to say pouch button so it's associated with the rest of the pouch that it belongs to. Dun, 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 dun. Where am I at? I want to go over here. Surfaces. Nope. I want that. I want you. Am I? Tool settings. Why am I not seeing? Oh, there they are. Okay. I have a pouch interior. I guess I do. It's on the inside. This is fine. Let's load in the morph targets. Hopefully they'll work. Deeper, longer, wider, and open. And we'll just double check those. I think wider, the button moves a little bit, and we open. Ooh, ouch. That one got a little janky. I'm just gonna have to redo that. I'm just gonna manually. I think it's the way the button got moved. It got itself scrambled a little bit. I don't know. Let me just try this again. I may have had the order I had these selected in different, so that might have made a difference. I don't know, let's try this. And then we'll try to reload it. And if not, I'm going to try to select it the other way around. See if that makes a difference. Otherwise, I'm going to pop in the Blender and rebuild this out. The open morph. Although I'll probably do that later. But let's do that. Accept morph loader. That's better. So apparently last time I had those, the order I select these in had to do with the order they got exported. So we're good now. Yay. Control E on that. Okay, this stuff, this I can get rid of. This I'm going to, let's put a sub D modifier on here. I had nothing selected, so it got confused. Convert to sub D. Looking good. All right, let's save you now. Actually, before I do that, let's tweak these. Go into edit mode. I'm just gonna put these. We're gonna move these over. Yo, Charles is back, but on the lurk. All right, looks good. Deeper, longer, open, wider. Okay. Apply the generic shader. X save that. I'm just gonna overwrite pouch. Exists, yep, me. Raven Hex pouch, content type, you're just a prop. And accept that. All right, we're good to go with that. Actually, you know what? I forgot to, we gotta rig it. Means I'm gonna put the, and then we'll resave it. I want my center point right back here. Right about there. This isn't important, but I'm just going to put you kind of down here. Let's make sure we memorize that. All right, we're going to resave you. That'll's probably good. Okay, now we're ready to put this onto the belt. So we're going to just reload it. And I'm just going to parent that onto here. I'm in the wrong window. Okay, we are looking for the pouch holder. So I'm going to take you and attach you to that and Control E. And I got to line you up. So you're going to kind of sit like that. And I need to see where that... We're pretty close. I think that'll work. That pouch is a little larger than I actually want. You know what? I think I'm just going to... We're just going to cheat and make it smaller and then memorize it like that. Also, I'm going to put a little angle on it. You're just going to kind of make sure... We're just going to kind of line it up a little bit better. So that's good. Now I'm going to add some controllers to the... So I'm going to do that. We're going to come through here. We're just going to memorize element, memorize figure. So that's all good to go. I have some controllers in here that I want to kind of... so when you click on this, you're going to be able to move the sides without having to come down here and find the bones. So we got these bones here that you can actually pose this stuff with. So we're going to set that up. So I'm just going to create empty dials. And I need a bunch of them. Let me see. I'm going to take a look at the Sinbad product just to kind of remind myself how I set that up for the scabbard for that. Because that was overly complicated and I'm doing something similar. And I can't see anything because I own all these products. And it says, there it is, Sinbad. Sinbad's got the overly complicated scabbard. And I used color coding. I used blue and I used purple. You know what? I'm going to use blue and purple. And what we're going to do is we're going to have things that'll say, um, spellbook holder. Yeah, spellbook holder. Bend, spellbook holder side to side, spellbook holder move, spellbook holder, twist, and then we're also going to have pouch controls. So I'm going to make some blue and I'm going to make some kind of purple is what we're going to do. So we're going to come over here to the belt. I'm going to come here in actor. We are in edit mode, so I can just kind of click in here and create new. Can I do this? Create new. Or do I have to do it here? Create new property. There we go. So this is going to be spell book. Actually, we're going to call this bend. And I'm going to set it up in a path. And where are you guys? Controls. I'm going to set up a controls. And then we're going to have controls spellbook holder and controls something, something, something. So actually actor control spell book. And then this will be bend spell book folder. And we'll just give it a blue and a black. Wonder if I can copy this. That would be convenient, wouldn't it? So can I create that? And then can I just dupe? Can I copy and paste? Copy. Paste. No. Duplicate property. That would be nice to be copy selected property. There we go. Did that work? I didn't see it do anything. Let's try this again. No, I think it just, I don't think it duplicated it. Create new property. I keep thinking there's, oh, property cloner. There we go. Oh no. All right, let's try that again. I think this just copies values. So property cloner. Select a target node. I don't want it on the hip, do I? I'm going to cancel that. I'm just going to have to do this. Why do you say that? And why do you say that? Okay, Control V. All right, I'm just going to copy this. And here, I just got to brute force this. I have to do this like 11 more times. So create new property. Move X. Make you blue. Make you black. And create that. And I don't know where you went. Oh, you're now up here. Oh, because I didn't put you into a doy. So I need you in the actor's control spell book. Right. And you didn't get changed. I thought I changed you. All right, now you're changed. Okay, create another one. Oh, this is tedious. Create new property. There we go. You are going to be move Y. You are down here in the spell book. You're going to be blue. You're going to be black. Okay, create new property. You are move Z. I'm going to put you down into here. Oh, you know what? I remembered how I can kind of speed this up a little bit. You're blue. You're black. I think I can create that now. So I think if I'm down here and control spellbook, and if I do it in here, it automatically is part of this group. So that should make things go a little bit faster, maybe. Oh yes, see there it is. That's much better. You are side. You are blue. You are black. And then we just need a twist in here. And we'll make you blue. Make you black. Okay, now we're going to set it up for the pouch holder. So I'm going to just do that up here. And you're going to be bend pouch. I'm just going to say bend pouch. And that needs to be actor control pouch. And we're going to make you purple and black. And create that. All right, now we're ready to go. And then I can come down here in pouch and do these. And you are purple. You are black. Create that. New property. Move Y. Pouch. Purple and black. So we're using colors just to make it a little easier. If you have different colors, it's a little easier to spot things, I think. This is going to be move Z. Create that. All right, we got 2 more to go. You're going to be side. Purple and black. And then what we have to do is assign them to movements. So we're going to use ERC freezing for that. And then we just need the twist. I think the rest of this is okay. So let's start with the pouch holder over here. And we'll just do a Y rotate. And I'm just going to say, you know what, we'll just put a 60 in there and we'll run that from 60 to minus 60 or something like that. And then we can ERC freeze. Is this how this works? And then if we take the twist on the pouch and put it like that, and then we do what, ERC freeze on that. Toggle selected, and what I want is pouch holder something. There it is. Y rotate pouch holder. Accept that. And now we can twist that from here. Okay. Where'd my pouch holder go? Spellbook, pouch holder. There we go. X rotate. Is that right? Y rotate. Oh, that's right. And then Z rotate. So X rotate is side by side. And you know what? We'll do 45 on that. And we'll just set you to 100. And we'll just do an ERC freeze on that. Select everything. Toggle it all off. And we are looking for that one right there. So we can move that side by side. Okay, actually I can set that to 0 to begin with, right? And then this is a pouch holder. Z rotate. Pouch holder's in the wrong spot. You didn't get memorized properly, did you? What about spellbook holder? Oh man, I gotta fix those. Pouch holder's supposed to be over here. Like that. I'm going to remember to memorize this before we save it again. What did I open you up for? Oh, I'm rotating this a little bit. That's right. Like that. I need to hide the pouch for a second. Because you get to go right about there. You need to be right about in here. And that needs to be lined up like so. Probably good enough. Okay, this time I'm going to remember to memorize figure rigging. I just got to go over and do the other side though. Spellbook holder. So spellbook holder needs to be over here. Right about there. I think that's pretty close, but I got to side this just to know you're off a little bit. And then that we can adjust. And then I'm going to memorize you. So those are better. Okay, back to setting up my dials. Those ones didn't make a big difference, but this one, I didn't set you yet. All right. Hey, Chris, is that a Genesis 8 character you're working on? It is. It's just the generic with the stream safe textures on it. Which means I got to do all this rigging on the Genesis 9 version as well. I know. She's certainly more model-esque, isn't she? Um, Pouch holder. Now I can adjust this. I should change the names of these too. Um, so that should become side side. That should become twist. This one becomes bend. Now we're going to use the bend. See, that's what it's supposed to do when it bends. So I'm going to bend you minus 60 like that. And then we're just going to pop over to here. ERC freeze that. Looking good. Control Shift F. Oh, I just did the wrong thing. Damn it. That was supposed to be this. So I'm going to redo. That's a move. That's not supposed to be a bend. We're going to fix that one later. ERC freeze. Accept that. If I turn you off, you're still not good. All right, I did that wrong. Can I undo? I'm going to redo. Can I redo this? I might have to delete this and reinstall it. Anyhow, let's set you up. Pouch holder 0 minus 60. It sets you back to 0. ERC freeze that. Okay, I'm going to redo. Do I need to just delete this? I think I might just need to delete this. It might work better that way. Delete selected property. And then I'll just create it new. It's probably easier that way. And now we're going to do the moves. Okay, that's probably good. And then I can take pouch holder. And we'll just do that. So that is move X. And I'm just going to say -5 on that. And then we can come in here and set that to move X. And do an ERC freeze on that. Okay, so move Y. Y translate. I'm going to say 4. And we can come back here. ERC freeze that. Okay, and move Z back over to pouch holder. Z translate. If I just say 4 on that. So this gives us the ability to kind of move that around and adjust it as we need. And then I got to do the same thing for this side. Hopefully it goes faster now that I've done it one side. And back over here, ERC freeze that. Should be good. Control Shift F. And then we got our little bend. We can move X in and out. That's the important one. We can move up and down. Maybe I'll change this to say front and back. You know what, I'm just going to leave them like that. So that gives us the ability to adjust those a little bit. Now we'll set up this side. So we'll do the bend first. Spellbook holder. Z rotate. I'm just going to say 60. Back over here. ERC freeze. Looking good. Control Shift F should be fine. This is move X. Back over to here. X translate. I think that is just, I'll just do 4 on that. Back over here, ERC freeze that. Hit move Y. Back over to here. And we'll just put 4 into the Y translation. ERC freeze that. So I'm really got the hang of it now. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. Okay, Z translation 4. Back. ERC freeze. Okay, now we got side, which is the X rotate. And maybe 60 on that. And then we've got the last one here, twist, which is the rotate Y. Rotate Y, there we go. I'm just going to say 60 on that as well. And ERC freeze U. There we go. And now we should be able to kind of adjust that. Looking good. All right, now I can save this belt with all the attachments. We are getting the texturing today, honest. I'm going to do the Genesis. So that's a lot of work just to get this belt to work right. Also, you know what? I'm going to parent on some of these potions. I'm going to do... Actually, let's get these in here. Do I have my potion holder in here somewhere? I got the cork, the bottle, I think you are still back over here in a scene. There it is, Raven Hex potion set. So what we have is you have this little potion on a little strap. And I'm going to put, let's start with a couple and we'll see how this works out. I'm going to put, and we're just going to abdomen upper, I think is what I'm going to do. Are your abdomen lower? So we're going to put them on the abdomen upper, which is right here. Let's put one here, put one here. So I'm going to put a rigid follow node right there. Node potion 01. Accept that. I don't know, let's put one right here. Maybe, you know what, I'm just going to put another one in here. Great rigid follow node. I may add another one later, but we'll see. Node potion 02. And maybe I'll just pop it onto the other side. Possibly stick one out over here. Anywho, is that good? And are you guys on the... No, you... I'm going to make sure that these are attached to the abdomen upper. They are on the upper now. Come over here. Go into posing. I'm just going to set those to 0. All right, that is good. We're going to set the display to be invisible. Do a memorize on that. Let's lock those into place. Memorize again. Come down here. I'm going to duplicate you. And I'm going to call you O1. And I'm going to call you O2. I think that's not going to... And this way I can kind of organize these a little better. So O1 goes to O1, O2 goes to O2, yada, yada, yada. Control-Shift-F on those. Okay, so they're not quite lining up. And did I lose? Oh, you know what? I didn't duplicate everything under it. Dang it. I'm just going to duplicate this. I didn't duplicate the whole hierarchy is what happened. There you are. I'm not entirely sure where my note is anymore. I probably should have left it visible until I was done with it. Anyhow, once I do... Okay, I'm really close. So that's going to kind of line up in here. I probably want to reposition these. I think I got the other one too close. Actually, maybe not. You're right over here. We're going to take this, and this time I'm going to remember to duplicate the whole tree. And then I can put this over onto that one. And there we go. And then just move you. I think you're over here. Dang it. I am sitting a little too close. Actually, am I at the right spot? I am on the right spot. Just a wee bit. I can do that. Those may be a little too large, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I think that's a good size for a potion, actually. I think I'm going to live with those for right now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to select all of this. And we're going to memorize elements, memorize figures. Let me get the rest of the outfit in here and see how it's all looking together. I'm going to rebuild the cloak. I got the belt in here. I'm going to save this right now before I lose it as a wearable preset. And that says G9, so let's not save over that. Am I in the G9? I'm in the G9. Let's go over to the G8. There we go. Save as a wearable preset here. I'm going to put you right there in belt. I'm going to move belt buckle out of here. Yep, I'm going to say yes to that. And we can say we've got all our parts to the belt in here. I redid this so this has ended up higher on the waist. Part of it was I wasn't liking the shape that my tunic was making when I was down here on the hips. It wasn't fitting the waist really nicely. So let's get the rest of the outfit in here. I'm going to kind of save the outfit right now too as a temp. So actually, let's get rid of you. And by get rid of, I mean I'm going to move you back up to here. So you're eventually this stuff goes away. Oh, I have a belt buckle in here. I'm gonna say no to that then, because you're probably my good belt buckle. I'm gonna go ahead and be bold, and I'm gonna delete this. If I need it, I've got a copy right there. What date were you? You're from 11:21 a.m. today. You're from 1:35 p.m. today. I think we can get rid of the earlier one. Are you sure you want to delete the? Yeah, let's do that. All right. I've got the belt the belt's going to kind of look like that. And that's the version with a belt buckle. We've got our boots. I got to resave them with the foot pose. So I'm going to resave the boots as a wearable. Here, we'll put the foot pose on. And then we'll select this and resave them with the foot pose. As a wearable preset, you're going to come... Here are the boots. Target exists. Would you like to replace it? Yes, please. And I'm just going to do that, and we're going to save the pose. And we're just going to save the pose for the feet. So we're going to just come down here and select the left foot, come down here and get the right foot and accept that. And now the boots will load in and pose the feet automatically. Now we're waiting. We've got our Dream On mug today. All right, that's good. All right, what's next? Let's put the shorts on. I'm probably going to have to reposition these a little when we get the tunic in here. I know Sarah will never wear the shorts. And that's the tunic, and let's see how the potions are looking. You see, they're just clipping a little bit, so we're gonna reposition that so it comes out just a little bit, and that one's going in a little, so we're just gonna reposition you so that you just come out a little bit off the hip. Oh, you know what we're going to do when we save these? We're going to save these so they're not visible in the simulation. Otherwise, that's going to cause havoc. I'm going to run the sim right now. Actually, I'm going to save this as a wearable preset right now, because that's basically what the whole outfit together is going to look like. Oh, yeah, and a cape. Did I not do the cape? Where's my cape? I'm going to redo the cape. That's what it is. I got to get a cape in here, though. Hold on. I'm going to save this, and then we're going to get the cape in. Currently, the cape is kind of fitted over this, but I didn't design it to fit any of the props. I don't know. Let me run the... No, I'll save it first, just in case I break something. So wearable preset, this is going to be Raven Hex outfit. G8 female. And we're just going to put an exclamation point there in front of outfit. So it gets forced to the front. All of that's probably good. I'm going to see how... I'm going to run D-Force. Nothing in here is invisible. The belt buckle's probably going to cause problems. We're going to make it invisible. It doesn't need to be visible. I kind of want to see how these work, though. So let's select you, come over here, display, uh, visible and simulation is off on that. Okay, now let me run the sim and see. I'm going to experiment with what can and can't be seen in the simulation. As it moves around, these things might get problematic. Likewise, the pouch in the spell book. I'm going to put a pose on here, and we'll try that. I'm going to move my content library over to the side for a minute. My dad's library. I'm going to go to people. I'm going to go to my Genesis 8 female folder. I'm going to go down to poses. And I'm just going to go to the base pose. Here, we'll bring this back now. Select you. This is the pose of death. We'll try this one's really bad because the hand clips right through the thigh. So if anything's going to make something explode, that will do it generally. I'm going to drop a plane in here so we have a ground in here so stuff falls through. Let's see how. And also you can see the problem is we got the potions are going to just plop through. You don't seem to be sticking to your spot very well. And yeah, let's go ahead and just experiment with this and see how bad it goes. I do have the bench stiffness set to 0.1, and that goes a long ways to keeping stuff from exploding. And we got an explosion. There we go. That's from the potion. Problem is when I put the cloak on here, it's so we take these and we make them all invisible to the simulation. Where's my visibility go? Visible in render, cast shadows, visible. Where's my visible in simulation? Visible in simulation, that's what I'm looking for. Come on. Do something. Come on. Give me the goddamn. Do I have to do these in. Oh, oh, you're locked. Well, that's what my problem is. You're off. You're off. All right, let's try this again. I should have backed up a little bit. What did you do over there? Okay, something else up here. It's probably the spellbook holder now. So we'll cancel that. So let's get the spell book and the spell book holder. Make that off. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make the pouch off too. And we'll try this again. I may rebuild the cloak to not. I might make the cloak a lot shorter, is what I'm doing, so that it doesn't drop down and hit these regularly. Or maybe we lose the cloak. I kind of like the idea of having at least something cover the shoulders. So I do have to make this all invisible in the simulation, otherwise it just causes things to go amok. And I'm thinking I might redo these so they're not on straps, but we just like kind of put them on the belt because the strap thing is kind of a little convoluted. So I may delete that part of the strap off. Do you go all the way down? Yeah, so I think I'm going to make... And then I'm just going to put that on the belt. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to rebuild the potion holders. And I might even make the potion smaller. And then we just kind of line them up on the belt. Yeah. I am going to get... You know what? I'm going to bring the cloak in here. Let's put you off to the side for a second. So we're going to pop in the Marvelous Designer and rework the cloak just a little bit. Also, let me tweak the potion holders in here. You guys are down here. Okay, let's hide you. Let's hide you. Let's hide you. And then potion holder. I'm going to dupe that. And I'm going to just trim it up here. And then we'll just close this off. Yeah. And I don't need any of this stuff. So there, we're just going to simplify the potion holder. And then I'm just going to line this up on the belt. Let me tweak the UV editing on this. I'm in the wrong one. All I really need to do is redo these in here. So these faces that I just added. And I can't see what I'm doing because the other one's in the way. Oh no. And you know what? I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to make some adjustments to this before I export it again. There are some things I wanted to kind of Came out a little thinner than I liked, so I'm going to maybe tweak the creases on the edges a little bit. Also, I wasn't happy with that. Do I have I'm going to put that back just a little bit so I can get that and crease these as well. I'm going to live with that. Oh, you didn't. I missed one. Right in there. Right in there. I can't get to it. Dang it. Right there. See, that's better. Except, oh, you don't have a crease on you. And you. Okay, I'm going to redo the holder like that instead of having it strapped off. This will make for a much easier to work with product ultimately. Export selection only. Let's come up here. Raven Hex potion holder 02. Potion. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. All right, import. Okay, let's hide. Let's hide you. Oh no, I still got a little, I guess still got some parts left over. Oh no. All right, re-export you. Delete you, re-import. Looking good. I'm going to save. Well, let's pop over here into surfaces, double check, and that stuff makes sense. Yep. Put the generic shader on there. Export you. I'm going to save you up here in this main folder. I'm going to call you potion. We're not going to say bottle holder. I'm going to say holder. And then do that. Set content type to prop. You're probably good to go. I'm going to reload. And then we're going to resave as a subset, and then this will get parented to the belt. You are over here. Nope, that was a boot. That's what I wanted. So I want to take this bottle here and parent you over to this. Then I can get rid of that. And I think I'm going to just like so. And I should, I should do the rigging on this. And I don't need, this plane is now in the way, isn't it? We'll just get rid of that. So we want this, we want the point of rotation on this to be here. Did I not? Oh, apparently I didn't save the rest of the other stuff. Oh well. So you are going to have a center point right in the back here. And I'm just going to put you at the bottom, and we're just going to memorize that before I forget. I'm going to save. I did save this, but I'm going to save it again. I'm going to do date modified so I know what I'm doing. Should be good. Okay, let me get this back in here. After I went to all the trouble to rig that nicely, but it's just not working. There, I'm going to do that, get rid of this. I'm going to save this as a scene subset. And then we can parent that to the belt, and then I'm going to save that. So let's get you back in here because you're a hot mess. We're just going to restore. And we can see it's kind of wonky looking because we got the D-force going on. We'll just clear that out. I'm just going to get rid of these. And then I'm just going to... Actually, let me unparent this for a second. Because I want to make sure that we've got the one that was loaded and not one that has embedded geometry or anything in it. So what we'll do is pop back over here, look for my potion holder like that. Take a look at that. There it is. My reading is still good on that. Take you, parent you to you. Take you. I'm going to go ahead and save this on the belt for now. There's a node for the potion. Control E on that. Control F to bring us up here. And now we're kind of close. I'm just going to put the one on here for now, I think. And then I'll think about. So I'm going to do that instead. Oh, you know what I need to do, though, is I want to make sure that this is set to not be visible. Let's grab all of these. Come over here. Turn them off for visible in simulation and inside. Hide that. I'm going to resave the belt as a wearable preset. I'll worry about getting the other potions on here later. And let's go play, I think, all right, Marvelous Designer is up and running. I'm gonna just redo the cloak completely. File, open, project. Did I save the G8 female version? Okay, we're gonna float that cloak. I didn't want that, I wanted that. And I want you to be like that. I'm just gonna sim this a little bit so that it gets stiff and it will move up above everything. Okay, we're going to take gravity off to help it float a little bit better. I'm going to lock the collar in place though. Simulation properties. You know what? We're just going to set that to maybe minus 2000 and see if this lets that, if that cloak floats up any better. And what I'm thinking is if it's just too difficult for it to play with the stuff on the belt, we just make the cloak a lot shorter. And I think for right now, I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to kind of do whatever I do here with Genesis 9. File, export, OBJ selected. Something in here should say Cape G8. Here, we'll sort by name. Makes it easier to spot. Hex Cape G8 female. I'm going to overwrite that. And, oh no, I sent the avatar out again. Damn it. Export OBJ selected. Cape. Yes. No avatars. Okay, back into here. Import. I think I need to scale it up. Okay, so we're going to do that. Import. Back into the whip folder. Date modified. Cape. There we go. I have to, my scaling is just a little small, so we're going to just set that back. Except that, there we go. Oh no, it wasn't small. That was 100%. Never mind, we'll re-import that. And 1, 2, 3. That's better. All right, let's put D-force modifier on that. Come over here to surfaces, do this. I'm going to make the collar stiff. And let's just do a test. If we drop this, you can see it's falling straight through. Let's try. So if I make you visible and make the pouch visible, and I'm going to add a little extra offset on the D-force on here, cape in the cape trim. So I'm going to set the collision offset to maybe be 0.5 on that. I know if I set this holder and we're falling through here, you know what? I'm just going to probably chop the cape up. Because it's just going to be too complicated to have it not clip the stuff on the belt. So we're going to maybe chop that in half. So we're gonna go back to file, open project. I'm gonna go back to here. I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, now you're being a butt. All right, file. I'm going to do a save as before I get too far gone. Or even hex v2, I think. Okay, so let's see. So that's like 558. If we take 200 off of this, or if I go 225, offset is an internal line. And we're going to say 225. Oh, and I have to select all of these. Offset as an internal line. 225. Okay. Cut. Actually, extend trim to pattern outline. Then we can cut these. Get rid of this. I'm going to round this out. And then we're going to round the other side out. So we're actually going to pay it. Oh no. I don't know. Do you round out? And if I round you out to say 50 or 50.8, how's that looking? That looks fine. Okay. And then I got to do that over here as well. So 50.8. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. All right, let's set up a trim zone. Offset as an internal line. I'm going to say 25. I'm going to say okay on that. Can I cut and sew that? Yay. Do I have a cape trim? There we go. I'm going to just export this, and I'm just going to fit it and then reset it. So export is OBJ selected. I'm going to overwrite my current cape G9. I'm going to say I'm going to say 02. I'm just going to do that. Yeah, we'll replace you. No avatar, thank you. I'm going to hit save here. I'm just going to stiffen that up. Are you activated? You don't look like you're activated. Activate. I think that's going to work. It's up high enough where it generally won't clip the stuff on the belt. And it still kind of gives me that nice shoulder coverage. We're just going to make that stiffer so it floats. I'm going to hit save on this. Then we're just going to up. So let's resize this and then save it out for Genesis 8. Bum, 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 bum. I'll just do the 100, so we'll load you in as a morph target. So we'll make it even shorter on Genesis 8, basically, because Genesis 8's taller. And And then when this gets done, we're going to stop that. I'm going to save you out. Export OBJ selected. I am totally in the wrong folder. We want to be maybe over here. There it is. Yes, let's replace that. Say okay. Oh no, I did it with the avatar again. Damn it. I'm still not used to OBJ exporter, OBJ selected only, wanting to send something out that's not selected. This is just asinine. I know, I complain about this every time we open this program up. All right, looks good. Okay, so in here, we're going to bring you back in. Import. Cape. Accept. Is good. I'm just going to rig it really quick. I'm just going to rig it as address. It's just going to be deforced. It doesn't really make any difference. And then I'm going to try to set it up to ignore. You know what I'm going to do? You didn't come in quite right, did you? Did you leave off part of it, or you just clipped? You seem to have missed part of the. Or you're just sewn in weird. Oh no, what's going on here? Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're the edge. I thought I was missing a gappy piece in there. I'm not. I'm going to turn gravity off because I want to float this even better. So that when I dial in body morphs, I generally don't have to do anything. So let's over here, simulation properties. We'll just say 0. I'm just going to freeze the neck. And then when we do this, I kind of want the cloak to just float up above everything. Or the cape. I think that'll be good. Let's try that. I'm going to use like this rigidity thing, which I can set up to ignore most of the morphs. So if you dial in like a heavy shape, the cloak doesn't get weirdly deformed, is what we're going to do. Although I don't think I'm going to do that on stream. I still want to try to get this into the substance today. That was my big goal. And I ended up rigging stuff instead. And I did that wrong again because I wasn't paying attention. I think I did an import instead of an export. All right, select that. File, export, OBJ selected. Over that. And no avatar, and okay. And then back into here. Get rid of that. Let's re-import this. Accept that. And I could just parent that to the neck for now. You know, I did that with one thing too, where it was just a prop parented to the neck. Although I am going to have some minor, so I need morphs that for the shape of the neck when it changes. But other than that, so let's just go ahead and rig this. Genesis 8 female cloak. You know what? I'm going to just say none on the projection templates for this. Accept that. Okay, let's put D-force on there. All right, let's see how this looks. I think I'm going to live with that. That's a lot less problematic, just falling down over the shoulders. And I think it still gives kind of a nice look. So that's what we're going to do for that. Yay! I'm just going to resave you. I got to clean this shit up over here. My surfaces have got the jank in it still. Collar clasp. So get rid of that. Collar. Cape front. Cape trim. All right, let's save you now. I'm just going to overwrite my... I'm going to be bold. Actually, I don't have a cape in here, do I? So I'm not being that bold. I'll be a lot bolder when I overwrite the Genesis 9 one. Hex cape, G8 female, looking good. I forgot to do the some cleanup stuff over here in the scene identification. I want to get rid of this garbage in here like that. And then for content type, we're going to say, I don't know, accessory outerwear or something like that. Maybe just an accessory. You know, I'm going to save you. Oh, I still need to make a staff. Definitely need a staff. I was planning not to do a dagger, but I definitely need to do a staff. Maybe I will add a dagger, though. I'm not sure where I want to put the dagger, though. Maybe I'll just float it on the front. But then it just gets awkward. There's not a real good spot, unless I put it on the side. Maybe I put the dagger right here on the, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'll just put the dagger on the spell book holder. We'll just put it on the side. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. Make a staff and a dagger. This has got too many parts. I'm going to start arranging this for texturing, though. So the staff, I do want this. I want most of this. The spell book can be textured by itself. I'm going to have to figure out how to get the... I think this is good. So we're going to export this. We're going to give it colors. We're going to export it out. We're going to spread stuff out. I don't need to texture. Well, I do need to. Well, I just need a cork texture and a bottle texture. This is going to be the same color as the belt. So I'm thinking 4 color sets: black and white, blue, and green. Maybe a brown and tan. Probably a brown, so maybe 5. And then I want the leather on here to match the leather on here, to match the leather on here, to match the leather on here. So those I want to do all together. And the leather on the boots will match the leather on the belt. And then the fabric colors on the cape, the shorts, and the tunic all need to kind of match. So I kind of need this, and ideally I'll have to just get the scabbard and match it up later. So let's start. We're going to turn off some stuff in here. We're going to turn off our mesh. We're going to set our mesh resolutions back to base before we export stuff. I don't think I've got any resolute. Are you just base? You're base. You're base. Okay. You can be base. I think the boots are so freaking dense. They're already at base. Okay, this is good. And then we're just going to select you and you and you. I need my belt buckle. I need my pouch. And I need my potion with the motion. I need the cork and the potion. I need the portion holder. And I need the, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and export out the spell book with the holder. And I already get the boots. I don't know if I got the boots. And now I got the boots. And did I get the tunic? I got the tunic. I got the shorts. Come over here and we'll just give everything individual colors. And there's my shaders, and we're starting with the boots. And I'm going to switch this back to texture shaded. Heel cap. I think I did that. Midsole. Buttons. Shaft. And there's a sole. All right, moving along. Hex pouch. It's got a whole bunch of okay, my belt has got 3 parts. Belt attachment. I'm just going to make you black. You are yellow. So I left off somewhere up in here. Okay, we got a cape. Cape collar. Cape collar clasp. Cape trim. I got my potion bottle. Got my shorts. And the shorts have got a waist and shorts and trim. My tunic has got a tunic base, cup trim, cups, shoulder straps. Shoulder straps have got trim. I got straps on the waists, which you can't see here. Tunic trim. I got the belt buckle. I feel like I'm missing parts of the potion. I am. There's a potion and there's a cork. Let's get those and the portion holder. So, here's cork. I think I got that. There's a potion. It's actually the liquid inside, which you can't see from here. There is a potion holder somewhere. Hex potion holder, there it is. And that has rivets and straps. I think we're good. Now I just make sure that we can export all of this. Okay, the belt. Potion holder, pouch. Oh no, I didn't get the I didn't get this in the book. Damn it. We were somewhere down. I'm running out of colors. Oh no, that needs to be named something. Right now it says default. That is a terrible name. All right, now let's see if we can get all this exported. Cape, that, this, that, and the belt. Spellbook, potion bottle, shorts and boots. I think I got everything. Did I get cape? Cape, tunic, shorts, boots. Cape, tunic, shorts, boots. Belt, belt, potion holder, potion bottle, potion bottle cork. Spellbook holder and spellbook and pouch. I think this is good to go. All right, so I'm gonna put this into a substance folder. New folder, substance. And this is going to be Raven Hex outfit. Now this has everything, so I'm going to call this Matte. Except I have to change. I have a default in here I have to change. Okay, anyhow, that's good. That's good. Save that. Accept that. Meanwhile, back in Blender, I'm going to just do a new. I'm going to hit save on this. Just do file new. Get rid of the cube. I know all these years and I still have the default cube in here. Import. Whip. Substance. I want that. And what I want to do is I have something in here called default. I'm just going to rename it. I think it was on the holder. Right. It was not. What had the janky? Was it the pouch? The pouch is fine. Oh, it's on the spellbook holder. And I need to change that to say spellbook holder rivets. And those potion rivets. Let me select those and see if that's. No, I was different from those. So what are you? Oh, your potion rivets something something. So I'm going to change that to spellbook holder rivets. Rivets. And then this just is potion rivets. I'm going to just do that. I think I can do that. All right, that looks good. Do I have any other weird? I'm going to later on also use this for making map files. So that's the reason why I'm bothering making name changes. And then I have to kind of remember to make these changes to surface names. All right, that's good. I'm going to make a copy of you. And we're going to pull stuff apart. So we're going to Shift D that. I'm going to hide you as an archive. We're going to come in here. And then what I've got to do is, like grab these. I think I can Control L those. And then G and X. And I need to split the pages out from this. So I think I can kind of Control L. No, that's the wrong thing. Control L. That. and then move those up like that. And I'm doing this so that we don't get occlusion on the inside of these pages. So I can set these up separately. Control L that. And I can kind of move you up out of the way. And then we're going to kind of Control L. Nope, I need to, you know what, I can do it this way. I can select the holder and select the holder rivets and just move that out of the way. That's good. I can get the cork. And I can move the cork out over here. I can get the bottle, put the bottle out over here. Now we can actually select the potion that's inside, and it's a separate thing. And then we can just move that over here. The bottle is generally just going to be glass, so I'm not overly worried about that. And then potion rivets and potion straps. So that should get all of that. That's all the holder parts, right? So we look in here, we should see that's gone. Yay. We'll get the buckle out of here. Is there something in here for buckle? I don't know. Where are you? Strap buckle roseblade belt. I gotta rename that, don't I? You just gotta be belt buckle. I stole that from the roseblade outfit. Should be out soon. Keep an eye out for that. There we go. Move the buckle out of the way. We're going to move the belt out of the way. So I want belt attachment. I want belt. I want the belt end. And we'll just put the belt out over here. Let's get the shorts out of the way. I can probably just Control L that. Move you over here. Okay, let's get the pouch parts. Select, 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 select. I should, you know what, I'll probably move the interior out of there or something. I don't know. Let's move. Oh no, I still have the short select. Damn it. Actually, I can, no, I'm just going to move these. And then I'll just bring the shorts back. We're getting there. I think now I just need to move the cape out of the way. Control L would have been faster. Okay, now we need to spread stuff out on the UVs because they're all overlapping right now. So I'm going to start by just moving the cape over one. GX1. So cape is taken care of. I'm going to activate X-ray on here. So again, can just grab the boots all at once, and then we can just move those over. Dang it. Let's try that again. Is that the GX2? Yay. Okay, the pouch. GX3. Let's get the holder. GX4. Get the book. GX5. I think the belt buckle. Yep, belt buckle's by itself. GX6. I think the bottle is overlapping the holder, so we'll do the bottle separate. I got an issue with that, don't I? My cork is forked up. we'll take a look at that. Where was we? GX7. I'm gonna have to redo that. Let's get you GX8. You know what? I'm going to remap these, and then we're just going to resave them out later, or we'll update the UVs on these or something. I don't know why you're so janky. I had UVs nicely set up for this too, and I think it's the cork. It's not the cork. What is that then? Are you on the? No, it's the potion. The potion with the motion. You know, and that doesn't even really need to be UV mapped, because I'm just going to give it a color. So I don't know why it all. What are you? Oh, you're mapped all sorts of funny in there, aren't you? Oh my gosh, that thing is horrible looking. I'm totally going to update that. That's, and we're not gonna bother with this because it's just going to be a liquid. So we're not even going to use maps with that. We're just going to use a shader for different colors with that. So I'm not even going to worry about. So I'm just going so I can completely rebuild it. I'm just going to kind of make sure that it kind of fits on the same map with this later on. But that'll be fine. So I'm just going to delete that. And we don't need that for what we're doing today. That's an awful lot of UDIMs. That's okay. I think we're ready to save this out and then load it up into Substance Painter and start the bacon. Bacon. This is a bit inefficient. I could have made that more efficient now that I've made this smaller. It's too late though. The boots are really packed tightly though, aren't they? These are so beautiful. Also, where is the thing that lets me see? I can never remember. There's a way to view these out. I can never recall where that is. Somewhere in here. I can set up the extra. Oh, there it is. Tiles. I think I can say like. Oh no, I want the 10 over here, right? So now we can see these on the tiles. There we go. And I've got 9 of these out there. So I have to kind of keep track. I'm thinking maybe I should map that with this and then just reset them up. It's not that much extra work, and it probably, I don't know, no, I'm going to keep them that way. Some of these are going to get on smaller maps. So I think like the buckle, this. So these are 4K maps, and the boots that gets a 4K map. The pouch will probably get a 2K map. That is a holder of something. I think the book will get a 4K map. That will get a 1K map. That'll get a 1K map. That'll get a 1K map. That'll probably, it's a little bit larger, maybe 2K map. That'll probably get a 2K map. Well, okay, so I'm ready to save this out. But what I'll do is I'll put them in their separate folders, and I'll just go back and size them down. All right, let's export this over into Substance Painter. And I'm just going to say Raven Hex outfit IDs. And we'll save that. And I will save this with no materials. That was an import. That is an export. This time we're just going to say, no, that's still an import. What the? There we go. And this is no materials. Materials, there we go. And export you. Alrighty. Okay, we don't need you because you're just eating up VRAM unnecessarily. I'm going to hit save on that though. And you I can leave in the background because you're not eating up that much. And I don't know. You know what? I'm going to do a file save as. And we're going to save you as a whip folder over here. And we need a promo folder for this eventually, so we'll do that now. Did I not just say new folder? I did. And we'll save Raven Hex Whip here. Alrighty, now I can close this. Not too worried if I lose something because we just saved it. I think for the staff, I'm just going to make it a simple wood. We're going to have, it's going to be kind of a twisted wood staff, and it's going to have kind of a sphere or an icosphere or something at the top of it. And the maps will just basically change the color of the sphere. And so we're just going to have basically one color of brown to dark brown wood, I think, is what I'm going to do with that. Actually, you're going to have three. We'll have white, we'll have black, and then we'll have a brown wood. But that I don't need to texture with everything else. It's probably easier to do it by itself. Anyhow, let's start Substance Painter here. We'll be using a UDEM workflow. All right, let's do that. Let's get you to fit the screen. Let's do File, New Project, Select. Fantasy, Raven Hex, Whip, Substance. And we want the one with no materials to start with. I think this is good. What are my advanced settings, by the way? I haven't opened this up in a long time, but use UV work tile flow. Yay. I think this is, I haven't had to touch this in a long time, so it's probably fine. We'll create that. But just take a look. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to put a great big plane in here, I think. No, I don't. This is relatively easy. For my stitching, sometimes it's easier to work with a plane. I'm thinking, I'm going to put one in here. Everything's, I don't have, it's not too convoluted, so I think I don't need it this time around. But although, yeah, we're not going to use it. Okay, never mind. File, save as. Not there. Over here, in here. Raven Hex. All right, we'll do mode, bake mesh maps. Turn the thickness off, turn the ID off, bake selected textures. We are baking out 9 UDIMs, so it's going to take a little bit of time. And it's the ambient occlusion and the curvature maps are the ones that take the most time. And that's what we're working in right now. I think we're working on the ambient occlusion maps. I can kind of see where it is on the progress bar. It tells me that we're, and you can kind of see the counting through here. 45 maps, 5 maps for each UDIM. So we're coming up to the last of the ambient occlusion maps. I think actually, what is that? 9 times 3. I don't know. What is that? uh, 27. Once we're through 27, we're through the AO. So now we're on the curvature maps. When we get to 36, we'll be over on the, I want to say, position maps. I don't even really need the buckle in here. The buckle's just going to have brass, gold, black, and white. White's going to be unsilver. Well, white's going to, you know what? It's going to be brass, gold, silver, and black. Are we done? Oh, we're done. Okay, now we're going to make the ID map. For that, we need the one with the, that I called IDs. Because it should have my colors. I see my colors. You can't see it because the dialog box opened it up over there and I can't move it to show you. So anyhow, there we go. All right, we're going to make the ID maps 4K. We make our cage really tight for better fidelity, but not 0. 0.0, and I'm going to put a 1 there. I'm going to put a bunch of zeros in here. And we should be good. So we're going to bake those. I'm going to need displacement maps for the main outfit and the cape. So I need those. So the ID map 1001 and 1002. All right, should be good. We can go into painting now. And I'm going to export out the ID map right off the bat. Export textures. I'm going to save the ID maps at 8K. I generally like to make my displacement maps as high as possible. So, and I need displacement map for the cloak and the other cloth pieces. 8K. I want this over here. I want you to say ID map UDIM. Export that. Crankety crank. Did it do it? I don't know. Let's go take a look. Yay. Okay, so everything, these don't have real depth, but everything else will, so I can get rid of all of these. I'm just going to stick these over in my whip folder. I think that's the whip folder right there. So we can put those over in there, and we can use those for making displacement maps later. I can actually save out my, so back in Blender, we're going to need UV maps for all of this stuff. So one at a time. And it exports a UV map for this here. So what I do is I just select everything and kind of move it over one at a time and then save it out. Kind of like this, export UV layout. Let's bring you over here. Let's come up and over. I got to rename you. Am I not seeing a rename in here? There it is. Raven Hex. And then the first one is going to be Raven Hex. You know what? I'm just going to say Raven Hex Outfit 001. or 1001. Well, just to do that, we'll be lazy. And then we can select everything, and then gx minus 1. And then we can kind of do this. And this will be 02, so on and so forth. These I want to be 8K8192, 8192. So select all X, GX1, GX1, and then resave that. Because I wanted that to be that. Enough. I want to just do that so I can kind of see a picture of what I'm doing. So we're going to overwrite you with the 8192. And then I'm just going to continue with that for the rest of them. The other ones, I don't need them to be 8Ks, though. They can be 4Ks. So GX minus 2. A. Is it control A? Am I not? Is Blender being a butt? Blender's being a butt. All right. Tab. Oh no, my Blender's stuck. What the hell? I'm going to shut Blender down. Let me see if I can get Blender working again. I still need to do a little bit more work in Substance. And then we're going to call it a day. I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to import in the ID version. All right, now we're back. And that would be the boots. Export UV layout. I'm going to do 4096. And is that the, and there we go. And then I'm going to just overwrite that. This one's 03. And so on and so forth. So I'm going to put that away. We're just going to focus on finishing up the Substance. Oh, I always forget how to navigate in anything. All right, let's get a leather in here. There's like a stylized leather I like. Leather stylized. It's kind of my favorite leather. We'll start with that on there. Oh no, you're supposed to be like the rest of this. What do you think you are? Oh, you got the attachment color on you. Okay. Okay, let's go over here. Do the pouch. You know, there's a pouch interior in here. I got a weird little. What are you? And then there's a button. I'm going to use a suede. Let's get a suede. There's an interior in here. I'm going to set that up. It's occluded really badly, but I think I can kind of ignore it, sort of. So we'll come back to this. What is the natural leather? Actually, that's what I'm looking for. There's a natural leather. That's a suede, isn't it? You know what? We're going to put you on the inside, looking out, and we can take a look at that later on and tweak it. Um, and then there's going to be metals, but let's finish signing our leathers. Let's come back over to here, and that goes there. I need different leathers for the rest of the boot. So the soles and the heel and the midsoles get different colors. That's going to have the same color as my general leathers. That's the holder. You know what? This isn't going to get a matching leather color. That gets a matching leather color though, because that's going to match. So the spell book will look a little different. So that's the general leather. Spellbook will get its own special. It doesn't need to match the rest of it because it's special. And then let's do, I'm going to do a brass, and we'll set those up. I got 3 minutes. Then I'm going to set up a fabric. Then we'll probably call it a day there. So now leather stylized, I've got those, and then I can just change the color on that. The boots just needs a couple more leathers here. Let's go get a brass. So all the metal parts are going to be basically, and there's a button on here on the pouch. We'll start with that. And then I'm going to just add the rest of the, so we have these buttons on the boots. I really like the way these boots look. These boots look so cool. And then the belt buckle gets oh, and then there's the rivets. And why are you no longer, oh, you're looking brassy now, aren't you? Because your color's similar. My color tolerance needs to be changed so that we don't accidentally pick up colors we don't want. That's better. But we got these cool little rivets on here. They need to be brass. So they're going to match the color. Dang it, I can't get in. I can't get in. Sometimes it's just so hard to move around this stuff. So those get to be brass. There's brass on the holders right there. That's brass. My belt buckle is in here somewhere. That's going to be brass. I missed. Let's try again. Got it. What are you? Oh, you're part of the... All right, let's set up my general. So fabric, and fabric. I haven't decided. I think I want to put something in here in the class. You know what? I think I'm going to just... It's probably going to be a brass, but I'm going to add some detail and height to that. I'm going to start with a basic linen. And then we're just going to do most of our fabrics based off of that. Let's title you. And then we can add the, the trim for those. That. cups, cup trim, strap trim. Got these side straps. Although I think I'm probably going to maybe make a chain or something on that. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how that works out. And I need fabric over here for the cloak and the cloak edge and the collar. And then there's this little clasp piece that'll be something else. Okay, so do we have a cork material? It's a little past 4. Hey, cork natural, yay! That simplifies things. Okay, that's just going to be glass, and I'm just going to totally set that up. All right, we're going to tile that up. So that's the cork. And the cork's just going to be cork, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and put a glass on here, but we're not really going to use it. So I'm going to put a fabric in here. You know what? I'm going to use the linen again, but I'm going to use a different. And then we need a leather. Let's start with the leather for the book. What if we do this? I'm definitely not going to stick with that. Although that's kind of an interesting pattern for a book cover. We have end papers, which I think is going to be the same. I need a paper. Do I have paper textures? Vintage wallpaper. This is a cool texture. Stylized book paper. That's going to be perfect for these book edges. Oh, and I should make that a different color. I thought you were a different color. I'm probably going to mask that off. I need to rotate this so it runs up and down with the edges. And I probably have to mask it off and stick it up here as well. Rotation, if I say 90 on that. So that'll look good on the edges, but I need something else for this. I thought I had different materials. If that isn't, I'm going to have to reassign some materials so that I get it flat on this. I can mask those off though. And actually, let's come over here and see if I can find a nice vintage paper. What I'm going to do for the books, there's a weird mystic book that has really strange pictures and nobody knows what it means. Paper. And it's past 4, but we're going to cardboard paper, silk paper. What is silk paper? Craft paper. I need like vintage worn paper. Stylized book paper is what we've already got out there. Paper parchment. Paper parchment would probably be perfect for the general, so I'm probably going to drop that in here. Where's my thing to download you? There you are. And you know what? I'm just going to put you on there. Did you not apply? You did apply. You're just looking weird. Is it just the way you're rotated or something? Can I rotate you? Oh, you're blending in with the stylized book paper underneath you. That's what it is. I'm going to do a little bit of Googling. So we're making progress. I'm going to hit save on this. I think I saved you already. I did. Um, I wanna think ancient magical books. I'll know the name of it when I see it. It's like the Book of Solomon has got really cool demon seal illustrations in it. I'm gonna probably use an alchemist alphabet for detailing things out. Um, Grimoires, that's it. I'm looking for an ancient grimoire. The Greater and Lesser Key of Solomon. Oh my God, everything. I swear the internet is so much garbage. Um, nope, that doesn't have what I'm looking for. Dang it. Grimoires and Sacred Text. The Magus, is that what I'm uh I'll eventually figure this out. Anyhow, we're gonna call it here for the day. We got the texture started. We're gonna end up with black, white, a blue version, a green version, and I think maybe a tan version or a brown, an earth color version. Maybe then I'll do a red. I don't know. Something like that. Anyhow, let's find somebody to raid. Thank you all for being here. Um, let's see, where are we? I am live on YouTube. Let's see what's going on over here. Do I have any viewers? I don't know. It says I got 2 watching. And I had Leo. I saw Leo in here earlier. Let's see who's on Twitch. Probably Tatty, but I always raid Tatty, right? So maybe Chan the Magic Man, but we just rated Chan. Plobby is on. Plobby's probably a good choice for somebody not named Tatty. So I think maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just go hang out with, I'll leave you all with Plobby today. And then we will be back tonight, 8 p.m. for the Saturday Night Social. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat. It's an old cartoon. It's National Sunglasses Day and the almost my birthday day. So there is that too. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. Ooh, Sally Quinn's on. Um, you know what? Let's rate Sally. I think she just started. I know I'm always rating Sally. She's on her starting screen. It looks like. So we'll do that. Thank you all for being here. Um, we got raid calls. If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That would be great. If you're on Twitch, feel free to copy one of these raid calls. There's the one for non-subs. Here's the one for subs. And we'll just do this /raid. Actually, you know what? I think I'll raid Plobby today, actually. Let's do that. Change of plans. Where's Plobby? Plobby 3D. There we go. Plobby is doing 3D. It's appropriate. We'll do that. Raid Plobby. Control V. There we go. Like I said, we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Saturday Night Social. And I hope you'll have a good rest of a Saturday if I don't see you, or a Sunday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.